guys, what's up? So, the plethora of morally reprehensible things and just everything wrong with The Biggest Loser. Like, back in the day when I used to watch it, kind of like Extreme Home Makeover, it made me happy on the inside because I was watching other people who were in a less fortunate situation get something that, all the viewers felt that they deserved. And with The Biggest Loser, it's not that they didn't deserve it, just like the other show, Extreme Home Makeover, it's not like they didn't deserve it. But, there's all kinds of shade behind the scenes. You wonder what really went down. And like, when I found out a few years ago that Billy the Blue Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was being ridiculed and made fun of behind the scenes for being gay, it made me sick. It's like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know that. Like, I get it. They didn't actually save the world dressed up as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I want to believe that. Like, give me some kind of nostalgia in life, Like, don't tell me all this negative stuff. Even though it really happened, I don't care. I don't want to know about that. I mean, I do care. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve to get made fun of for being gay, but when it all comes down to it, I mean, we know about it, so let's just, acknowledge it and say our piece. So, here's mine. The Biggest Loser. So much came to the surface in the late 2000s, in the last decade, before 2010. So much came to the surface. Most of them, if not all of them, gained their weight back once they left the ranch. And the things that happened to them when they arrived at the ranch, just disgusting. Like, it sounds so inspirational, doesn't it? All these heavy people showing up at this. Sorry, guys. Didn't sleep much. All these overweight individuals with no discipline and just they've never tracked anything their whole lives, and they've always just wanted to enjoy themselves. Some of them in their 20s, some of them in their 30s. I believe some of them might have actually even been in their 40s, but we're talking about handfuls of lifetimes of bad decisions. So they got shipped out to this very expensive ranch, and I don't know where it was, but they're from all over the country, and they're suddenly expected to go from binging out and enjoying themselves at 4, 5, and 600 plus pounds. And the show had to get a special scale just for these people. That's how heavy they were. But they get shipped out to this ranch, all these conditions, and, different circumstances, sure, but obesity is one of those things that people just struggle with in general. Losing even a pound just sounds insurmountable because it's like all you want to do is enjoy the food, which there's not really a problem with at all. You like to eat, but you shouldn't eat yourself into an oblivion like this, and you should have support to make sure that doesn't happen. But when they get to the ranch, they put them on these crash diets. That's something that I do not think that was ever made to light. Like when the show was airing. I mean, you heard Jillian Michaels, go off on people all the time for going off of their diet plans, but it was not a diet plan. It was a crash diet. And there's a huge difference. A diet plan might actually include at least 2,000 plus calories, which is where I think they should have been. So that way they didn't go crazy. That way they weren't hungry. And, feeding them whole food, stuff that will fill them up, so that way they weren't temptatious for anything because they were actually full of real good whole food that would help them reach their goals faster. But no, they were given 1,000 or less calories a day. No, that's not how that works. Some of these people coming in, they know that they're going to be on the show, and they know that they're going to be restricted. So what are they going to do? They're going to gorge out weeks prior to being on the show. They're going to stuff their face with all of their favorite stuff because they know they don't get to have it again for a long time. Otherwise, they get in trouble. And as you saw, many of them broke the rules. So they got called out for it by the trainer. And here's the thing. As far as accountability goes, they definitely, we need to call each other out. If someone has a weight loss goal and they're slacking off like that, call them out. Make sure that they know that you care enough to get on their case about it so that way they can stay motivated to stay on track. Definitely do that. But as far as their diet goes, people, even if you're horrendously overweight, even if you're morbidly obese, I don't care what your body mass index scale number is, I don't care how far over the scale you are, you need to eat enough food. That's 100% true. Do not starve yourself. That's not going to result in anything except for you crashing and going crazy. You don't need to think about cheat days for a long time. You don't. But you do need to eat enough, and you cannot starve yourself and then perform just extensive exercise, which is what they had these people doing. Crash course diets with 1,000 calories, sometimes less, but then they were just out of the blue. Some of them probably never even exercised their whole life. And then suddenly they're going on these insane cardio workouts and all the other stuff that they did. Bleacher runs. Bleacher runs are hard. Those are hard. I don't think an obese person has any business doing those. I mean, that's like, that's like me making, my mom come with me for deadlift day and expecting her to max out at the same thing that I do. And my mom is, pretty overweight, so that's despicable. The exercise that they require should be a lot simpler than that. I mean, yeah, get a little resistance training in there to, shock the muscles, but don't overload like that. Bleacher runs, that's effing crazy. I can't believe that, man. Bleacher runs, running down and then back, I mean, that's one lap. That wins me, and I'm in pretty damn good shape. So they had no business having those, 300, 400, 500 pound plus people doing that. That was disgusting. It's not just going to be too much on them, but like their heart is going to get overloaded. Their cardiovascular conditioning is trash. That's going to kill them. Like, how stupid. The show was beyond stupid. Like, I loved every moment when I saw someone jump on the scale and just smile and cry with joy because they had lost so much weight. They were so proud of themselves, and they had every right to be. But obviously, when they all left the show, gaining all the weight back, and maybe there are people who did not gain the weight back. If there are, please let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to know. But mostly, I believe almost everybody gained their weight back because the show just took such a disgusting approach to getting these people to lose weight, and it was all for the camera. It had nothing to do with actually helping these people get from point A to point B. Nothing at all. And it, much like what I found out about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that really disgusted me. I mean, back in high school, don't get me wrong, I made fun of fat people too, but I think it was because I was also fat that, I'm thinking, hey, I have every right to make fun of my own people, but things change. Things change after 15 years. I mean, it doesn't really matter how long it is, but things change. And even if I was still, fat, I would have no desire to make fun of other fat people. I enjoy, trying to help somebody get from point A to point B, without, pushing them to insane extremes. So, The Biggest Loser was an absolutely atrocious show, and here's the other thing. I have no idea why. Maybe they missed the ratings that much, and you know what? If they do it right this time, then I'm all for it. But they are bringing it back. I'm not sure when The Biggest Loser will re-air, but it is coming back. So, hopefully they do it right this time. I doubt they'll be bringing back Jillian Michaels and that other trainer. I don't remember what his name was, but I'm also not sure if they're bringing back Allison Sweeney. I doubt that she had anything to do with the menacing side of the show, like tampering with it at all. I doubt she had anything to do with that, so I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's hard to tell who was in on it and who wasn't because the show was just absolutely despicable. Like, there's the biggest problem that I have with it is that when these people get shown the right way, they're not going to care anymore. They're going to be so discouraged by those experiences, they're not going to want to try again. That's why it is not okay to take these people and do that to them. So what if they ate themselves into an oblivion and then they decided that they want to get healthy? That doesn't mean that you can throw the frickin' Thor hammer at them on fitness. You can't. You have to be slow and gradual about it. And here's the thing about that. When it comes to extreme situations like this, guys, like, you can jump into it cold turkey and quit all the bad habits that you're doing. You can. It's not that it can't work, it's just that it usually doesn't, because statistically, a lot of people, they quit pretty fast. They go from eating all of their favorite things and being lazy to being active and eating only healthy. It's usually a huge shock. And that's what I did. I think that's why I quit so many times back in the past, but that's what I did. And the last time worked. But notice how it took many times of me quitting it for it to actually work. So it's debatable, but yeah, make gradual changes, go on like, 2 to 3 30-minute walks a week, add a fourth walk, after so long when you start to feel improvements, add water, take a multivitamin, eat better fats, mono and polys, omega-3s, just gradually add these changes and it won't be such a shock. The long term will really benefit you that way. That's what I recommend to most people. And that's what The Biggest Loser should have done. They should have been patient because they could have had a potentially very successful show. And maybe most of those people would still have all that weight lost. Who knows? But that's just my incentive on The Biggest Loser. It was a completely disgusting show, and hopefully they do it right next time. And hopefully all of you, if you are struggling, you can absolutely get your ass up, get motivated, and get doing it, because I and many others believe in you, and we are all here to help. Thanks, guys.